Hey everybody, it's Fox with FoxeoGames, and this is a Fox First Scent of God Eater 2 Rage Burst on the PC. It's recently come out, and as always, I'm fashionably late with this first impressions video, but that's okay, because that's what I do. I'm always fashionably late. God Eater is a series that got its start on the PlayStation Portable, the Sony PSP, and in terms of the graphics, the base graphics, it really hasn't evolved a lot from there. You can see the graphical options, control options, all of the options that the game has on the PC, which are decent. I was actually quite surprised to find that it, by default, has a borderless windowed mode. That's something that I really do appreciate, and indeed, they do have it. Screen resolution supposedly goes up even beyond 1080. I wasn't able to test that. You can turn VSync on or off. FXAA, unfortunately, is the only type of anti-aliasing, and it's not that great, but fortunately, it does the job without much of a performance hit for those of you with lower spec machines. However, FXAA can cause the image to look fairly blurry. As always, I try to make voices the loudest thing in the game so they're easier to hear. I don't want voices drowned out by music and sound effects. Radio voice effects, that's actually what is supposed to come out of the controller if you're playing on the PlayStation 4. There's a actual speaker on your PlayStation 4 DualShock 4 controller, and audio will come out of that to give the impression that that's one of the characters talking to you over your intercom system. Now, this is character creation. I've named my character Xiaomei, which I believe is really supposed to be pronounced like Xiaomei, but I'm not a Chinese speaker by any stretch of the imagination. That's the character I created. I skipped that whole process, no need to see it. And I named myself codename Xiaomei as well. Hey, same thing, right? Starts off with a little anime cartoon intro, blah, 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 who cares? And this woman right here apparently forgot to put on clothes this morning before coming out for battle, and she's also eating a sandwich comprised of oden, which looks to have an octopus tentacle, maybe potato, eggs, and I think that other thing was a daikon, a type of radish. That's disgusting, in my opinion, but whatever. She demands that you eat it all and leave none left. God Eater, Rage Burst 2, and the whole entire God Eater series really spawned from the Monster Hunter craze, where we saw a lot of what people tend to refer to as Monster Hunter clones. In all honesty, it's not a straight-up clone. It's quite different. However, it does have that sort of short mission-based structure to it, but unlike Monster Hunter, the series, this is much easier to get into, much easier to learn, and in my opinion, it's far easier to control your character. These are the tutorial segments. I didn't need to go through these at all, but I believe you have to. And anyway, I wanted to show you some of these just so you can see what's going on. You can guard, you have a fast attack, a slow attack. Your attacks are different based on how you combo them together, including jumps, they factor in. And you can alternate between your melee weapon and your ranged weapon, which is some type of firearm, basically. Either, you know, you can have like a sniper rifle type thing or more of a ballistic, you know, bazooka type weapon. The melee weapons include long blades, short blades, big axes, scythes, I believe are new to this one, at least new as far as I'm aware. I don't remember scythes being in the other games. But then again, my memory's not always the best. And I don't know why it froze up right there, but that was a little bit of a freeze during the game recording session. Oh, I probably clicked away from the screen. This is one of those games where when you click away from the screen in borderless full screen mode, it just freezes everything in place and the audio stops. I would actually prefer that the game just continue on as normal, because I like to click away from the screen to do something on my second monitor even while recording, and it would be best if it didn't do that. It's a minor thing. You can go in here and change a lot of the settings, including keyboard button mapping, which is awesome, and I did try it with both the gamepad, a controller, and with the mouse and keyboard. I originally tested mouse and keyboard only in the sense that I would just let you know how it worked out. I expected it to be subpar at best, and I thought for sure that I'd prefer the gamepad. But now that I've tried both, actually I prefer mouse and keyboard. I can't believe I'm saying that. This game is a total gamepad type game. It's a third-person action game. But yeah, believe it or not, I find the keyboard and mouse much easier to use. I find it just seems more accurate. And it's far easier to control the camera. You see, the camera in this game hasn't been tweaked properly since it was released on the PlayStation Portable, where you actually manipulated it with the D-pad. So the camera's really built for you to play around with a D-pad, pushing, you know, up, down, left, and right, rather than having full analog controls. So it doesn't feel quite right, but for some reason it feels a whole lot better on mouse and keyboard than it does on the gamepad. This is where you get to suck some materials out of them by devouring them. I got some beetle plate, and a beetle shard, and a beetle helm, and a beetle plate, and a beetle helm, and a beetle shard, and yeah, that's it. Basically, like I said, it's kind of like Monster Hunter in that you have different weapons with different attack styles, change how you play. Of course, in this one, you always have a ranged attack option. When you run out of your OP meter, which is the green meter up there, which allows you to shoot your ranged attacks, you have to go back to melee to build it back up. You have stamina in the game, which drains as you run and do a few other things like that. If you die, someone else can resurrect you. One of the biggest complaints I think I could levy at it is that it's really too easy in many ways. A lot of these games are too easy, kind of like a Tokiden Kiwami is also just too easy because when you die, one of your teammates just runs up, resurrects you, and that's it. You can see right there how this is mission-based. You basically go to the lobby secretary lady, she'll give you a mission or let you choose one, and then you go to the launch pad and you're out. There are a few other places you can go other than that lobby that you saw right there, but unfortunately, just like in Monster Hunter and just like in a lot of other games like this, like Freedom Wars and a couple others, when you're in the town or the main, safe harbor area, you cannot move the camera. It's a locked position. I don't get that. Why do games do that? This game also has that thing where after you defeat the last enemy or the boss, it will give you a timer. When the timer hits 0, it automatically kicks you out regardless of what you're doing. So you kind of have to run around and, devour all the last enemy corpses and grab items that you see as quickly as possible before the timer hits 0. But in terms of a PC port, it's extremely competent, believe it or not. It's got a decent amount of features. The biggest complaint, obviously, is that they really haven't done a whole lot to make the graphics look better. They scale surprisingly well, given that they haven't been improved much since the PSP days. That's what happens when you run out of stamina. You stop and take a breather. You'll notice that the arenas are extremely small. The backgrounds are very low resolution. The textures are fairly low resolution as well, and nothing looks that great, especially if you look up close. But the good news is, like I said, the PC version is the best looking of all the versions out there. I also have, I think, this one, at least Resurrection, one of those, or maybe both, on the PlayStation 4 as well, and this is definitely my platform of choice for the game. So as you can see here, back to base in 35 or so seconds, now at 28. I don't know why they do that, they just kind of force you out. Monster Hunter does that, Freedom Wars does that, Tokiden Kiwami does that, Soul Sacrifice does that. Even Final Fantasy Explorers, is that what it's called, does that? So what gives? What gives? All these games tend to follow a very similar pattern. So if you're familiar with one of them, you'll be familiar with the others. You can craft weapons and all that good stuff. As always, I'm Fox with FoxeoGames, and I'll see you guys next time. Hey guys, thanks for watching. I'm constantly working on more videos. I'm pretty busy in real life, but I try to get out as much as I can, including these Fox First Scent videos, as well as my Fox reviews. You can check out one of these. I did a review of Salt and Sanctuary on the PC, as well as Odin Sphere Life Thruster for the PlayStation 4. If you like the video, you can click the like button, and if you want to see more of this stuff, well, you can click subscribe to subscribe to my channel and get notifications in your inbox of all of my new videos. Again, I want to thank you so much. I love playing games. I hope you love playing them too, and watching my videos about them. Make sure to leave your comments below, and I will see you guys next time.